You know what absolutely grinds my gears? When WWE creative deliberately sabotage their own champions just to push an agenda. And last night on SmackDown, October 3rd, 2025, we witnessed one of the most disrespectful booking decisions in recent memory. Cody Rhodes, your undisputed WWE champion, the man who finished his story, was thrown into a tag team match that had zero business happening. But here's the part that'll make your blood boil. This wasn't just any tag match. This was a calculated assault designed to make Cody look weak heading into his next title defense. Don't believe me? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be just as furious as I am about what Triple H and his booking committee are doing to the American Nightmare. Let me paint you the picture of this absolute travesty. SmackDown opened with Nick Aldis announcing that Cody Rhodes would be teaming with Randy Orton to face the unholy alliance of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Now, on paper, this sounds like a dream match, right? Two legends, two of the most decorated superstars in WWE history, taking on two absolute monsters who've been terrorizing the roster for months. But here's where it gets infuriating. Cody Rhodes is the champion, the man who carries the entire brand on his shoulders, the guy who sells out arenas worldwide. And what does WWE do? They book him in a random tag match on free television with nothing on the line except his health and credibility. Meanwhile, Bron Breakker, who just lost his Intercontinental Championship, gets a golden opportunity to gain momentum by potentially pinning the world champion. Make it make sense. The match started with Orton and Breakker in the ring, and immediately you could feel the intensity. Randy, being the ring general he is, tried to out-wrestle the young bull, but Breakker's raw power was undeniable. The kid's got a 29-inch vertical leap, benches over 400 pounds, and has the speed of a cruiserweight despite being 230 pounds of pure muscle. When he hit that first shoulder tackle on Orton, the Viper actually stumbled backward 3 full steps. 3 steps. That's the respect Breakker commands with his athleticism. Quick trivia question for you guys. How many times has Randy Orton held World Championship gold in WWE? Drop your answer in the comments below. But here's where the psychology gets interesting, and frankly, concerning. Cody was on the apron, hyping up the crowd, looking confident, playing to his strengths as a babyface champion. Then Orton tagged him in, and the crowd erupted. The American Nightmare entered the ring with that signature confidence, but Breakker didn't back down an inch. These two locked up in the center of the ring, and the power struggle was real. Cody tried to use his technical prowess, going for a side headlock, but Bron simply launched him across the ring like he weighed nothing. This is the problem, folks. Cody Rhodes should not be in positions where he's being ragdolled by someone who's not even in a championship program with him. You're telling me the undisputed champion needs to be fed to the wolves every single week? Where's the protection? Where's the prestige? The match continued with Bronson Reed tagging in, and good lord, this man is a mountain. 330 pounds of Polynesian powerhouse, and he moves with the agility of someone half his size. When Reed entered the ring, he immediately targeted Cody's ribs with a series of crushing body avalanches in the corner. Each impact sounded like a car crash. The medical staff should have been on standby because those shots were brutal. Cody tried to fight back with his signature strikes, his uppercuts, his jabs, everything in his arsenal, but Reed just absorbed them like he was made of titanium. Then came that devastating body slam that left Cody gasping for air. And where was Randy Orton? Recovering on the outside from a spear he took earlier from Breakker. So Cody was isolated, alone, fighting for survival against two men who outweighed him by a combined 200 pounds. Here's another one for the comment section. What was Bronson Reed's previous ring name before coming to WWE? Let me know if you remember. The heat segment on Cody was prolonged. We're talking 8, maybe 9 minutes of continuous punishment. Reed and Breakker were working like a well-oiled machine. Quick tags, double-team maneuvers, complete domination. Breakker hit a gorilla press slam that sent Cody crashing down with devastating impact. Reed followed up with a running senton that had to have compressed Cody's entire skeletal system. This wasn't wrestling anymore, this was systematic destruction. And the crowd was losing their minds. The chants of "Let's go Cody" were deafening, but our champion was getting absolutely mauled. Every time he tried to crawl toward his corner, toward Randy's outstretched hand, Breakker or Reed would drag him back to their corner and continue the assault. This is textbook heel work, but it's coming at the expense of your top champion's credibility. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Cody managed to counter a charging Breakker with a drop down, causing Bron to crash shoulder first into the ring post. This was Cody's moment. He summoned every ounce of energy, dove across the ring, and made the hot tag to Randy Orton. The apex predator came in like a house on fire. He hit his signature power slam on Reed, then another on Breakker. The crowd was on their feet. Orton was stalking, measuring, pounding the mat for that RKO, and you could feel the energy in the arena reaching a fever pitch. Breakker stumbled to his feet, turned around, and wham! RKO out of nowhere. The place exploded. Orton went for the cover. The referee counted 1, 2, and then Bronson Reed absolutely murdered the pinfall attempt with a tsunami splash off the top rope that not only broke up the pin but probably broke several of Orton's ribs in the process. The impact was so severe that Orton rolled out of the ring, clutching his midsection, potentially injured. Trivia time: how much does Bronson Reed weigh? Bonus points if you know his exact weight without looking it up. Now it's back to Cody versus both monsters. The champion, already beaten down, exhausted, injured, has to face a fresh Bron Breakker and an equally fresh Bronson Reed. This is where I'm calling foul on the booking. Why would you put your champion in this position? What purpose does this serve except to make him look vulnerable heading into his next major title program? Cody, showing the heart of a champion, started firing back with everything he had left. Disaster kick to Breakker. Cody cutter to Reed. The crowd was roaring their approval. He was feeding off their energy, channeling his legacy, his family's legacy, everything he's worked for. Cody climbed to the top rope, looking for the crossbody, but Breakker caught him in midair and transitioned into a thunderous power slam. The ending sequence was absolute chaos. All four men were in the ring. The referee had lost complete control. Orton slithered back in and hit Reed with another RKO, but Breakker speared Orton so hard he nearly broke him in half. Cody tried to capitalize, going for the crossroads on Breakker, but his ribs were too damaged. He couldn't lift him properly, and Bron countered into a military press position. Then came the most infuriating part of the entire match. Bronson Reed climbed to the top rope while Breakker held Cody in position. The crowd was screaming. They knew what was coming. Reed launched himself with a tsunami splash while Breakker simultaneously delivered a powerbomb, creating a devastating combination move that left Cody Rhodes, your WWE champion, laid out in the center of the ring like yesterday's laundry. Breakker covered Cody, hooked both legs, and the referee counted 1, 2, 3. Your undisputed WWE champion just got pinned clean in the middle of the ring on free television. Let that sink in for a moment. Cody Rhodes, the man who defeated Roman Reigns, the man who finished his story at WrestleMania, the man who represents everything WWE stands for right now, just got pinned by someone who lost their secondary championship recently. The booking makes zero logical sense. Final trivia question: what year did Cody Rhodes return to WWE? Comment your answer and let's see who the real fans are. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: it's just a tag match, it doesn't count against his title reign. Wrong. In the eyes of casual fans and everyone watching, they just saw the champion get beaten. This plants seeds of doubt. This makes Cody look beatable heading into whatever program WWE has planned for him next, and not in a good way. The post-match was equally concerning. Breakker and Reed stood tall over Cody's fallen body, raising their arms in victory while the champion lay motionless. Randy Orton was still recovering on the outside. The heels looked like absolute killers, which is great for them, but at what cost? You've just sacrificed your champion's mystique for a random October SmackDown. Here's my real issue with this entire situation: WWE has a terrible habit of not protecting their champions anymore. Gone are the days when the world champion was untouchable, when they only appeared in marquee matches, when pinning the champion meant something special because it rarely happened. Now, champions are getting pinned every other week in tag matches, multi-man matches, non-title situations. It devalues the championship. Think about it logically. If Bron Breakker can pin Cody Rhodes clean in a tag match, why shouldn't he get an immediate title shot? The precedent is there. He has a legitimate claim now. But we all know WWE won't follow through with that logic because this match wasn't about building stories, it was about filling time on a 3-hour SmackDown. And don't even get me started on Randy Orton's involvement in this. The Viper is a 14-time world champion, one of the greatest of all time, and he's being used as enhancement talent for the new generation. I respect putting over younger talent, but there's a time and place for everything. This wasn't it. The worst part? This match was actually incredible from a pure wrestling perspective. The action was non-stop, the psychology was there, the crowd was molten hot throughout, and all four men worked their hearts out. But the result completely overshadowed the quality of work because the booking was so backwards and frustrating. Bron Breakker looked like a monster, which he should. The kid's got unlimited potential, he's a genetic freak, third-generation superstar, and everything you want in a future world champion. Bronson Reed also looked devastating. His power moves were protected, and his presence was felt throughout. But did they really need to beat the actual world champion to achieve this? Couldn't they have demolished some mid-card team and looked equally impressive? This is what happens when WWE focuses on moments instead of long-term storytelling. They wanted the moment of Cody getting pinned to shock people, to create social media buzz, to get people talking. Mission accomplished, congratulations! But at what cost to the championship's prestige? At what cost to Cody's reign? I want you guys to sound off in the comments right now. Do you think Cody Rhodes should have been pinned in this match? Do you think WWE is doing right by their champion? And most importantly, do you think Bron Breakker deserves a title shot after this victory? Let me know your thoughts because this conversation needs to happen. The wrestling community is divided on this, and I can see both sides. Some people love the unpredictability, the fact that champions aren't invincible anymore, that anyone can get beaten on any night. That's realistic, that creates drama. But others, myself included, believe that championships need to be protected, that champions should lose only in meaningful situations, preferably when a title is on the line. What's your take? Are you team protect the champions or team anyone can get beaten any night? Hit that comment section and let's have a real discussion about the state of WWE booking in 2025. Looking ahead, this result has to lead somewhere. Whether it's Breakker getting a title shot, whether Cody demands a rematch, whether this builds to some kind of fatal four-way situation, something has to come from this. If WWE just moves on and pretends this didn't happen, then it's even worse booking than I thought. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Wrestling Zone 1 for more in-depth analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss when we expose the truth about WWE's booking decisions. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because we need to hold WWE accountable for how they treat their champions. This is Wrestling Zone 1, and we'll catch you in the next one.